Do you know?
GDPLive?
Hopefully you can hear us.
Maybe?
We out here?
Who knows if you're able to ever hear us ever again. This is probably GDPLive. Maybe for the last time if this fucking computer doesn't straighten up. I have no idea. Why that happened. Look at this.
Yay!
Ta-da! Who knows? Take that, fucking machines, you piece of shit. I am Pat George. I'm your usual regular kind of host that just hangs around here in the attic, and this is Dominique over here. She's here. She's usually busy doing real work with real people, and
it's not as fun.
Not saying that you're not real people, but you know, right now, as of right now, people were watching earlier. By the way, who was watching for a while and not commenting? There was I feel like there was somebody else that watched.
Maybe they were trying to figure it out on their like, what's happening? Is it my phone? And they were looking at their phone.
Oh, okay, yeah, I appreciate that, and that's why I double check just to make sure, and I shouldn't have to sign in because I do believe I am the person that is streaming on this thing, so I guess
it wants you to sign into YouTube.
Yeah, it's really interesting how computers have been fucking me over today. But in general, I'm here. I'm queer. Get used to it. Dom, I know that you were explaining earlier. Honestly, maybe we'll just take a mulligan on that one. But I'll update everybody again, just so everybody knows. Gross Domesticated Podcast live from YouTube only today. Possibly going forward every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from the Baby Mermaid Productions YouTube channel. You can subscribe there. You'll get notifications every time we go live, every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday from 11 a.m.-ish, depending on if the machines are taking over the household again and deciding to just be slow adults. That's basically all that's happening is our computers just turn it. Every once in a while, we just get real duds of a stream. The last stream, I was streaming straight to Facebook through Zoom, and I remember having the specific thought of, I don't need to record on this computer. That seems redundant because I'm already streaming to Facebook. It saves there automatically. I can just download the video later. Did that for about a week, and then Monday, it just stopped streaming about 37 minutes in to the show. Didn't notice it till about halfway through. Also, kind of a bummer. That pissed me off because Karen was like, "Hey, the stream stopped 15 minutes ago," and I was like, "Why didn't you tell me then?"
Yeah.
But I got no notification that it happened. So people were saying that the audio for Instagram sounds bad, and today was supposed to be me saying, "You know what? I'm gonna stop spreading myself so thin." And stop having half-ass quality content in different places and just have a whole production right here at YouTube so that people can enjoy it here and then the audio only later on. I'm going to share the video to all those different platforms, but what do you know? Half an hour late because you just couldn't hear it because the computer just plumb turned off that thing. It disabled the audio. I have no idea why. There's no reason why. But we're beyond that now. We're past it. Please go back to talking about your period. That's what that first whole half an hour was about, her talking about shedding her uterine lining. Please, Dom, go into more detail about why you're not feeling
You
great
asked
today.
how I was doing, and I was like, bleh, because I'm just uncomfortable. And, yeah, that's what that first part of it was. So we were talking about, you said, what does it feel like? Because you compared it to getting kicked in the balls. Well,
yeah, I was saying that
I can't understand that feeling.
Well, something I talked about on yesterday's show that I didn't end up posting the audio because again it got cut short. Everything, I just ended up cutting the whole kind of day shut. It just felt too dismantled. But I will say one of the things that I shared was one thing that we've talked about recently was if women and or men, if people had the choice in general to be the child bearer or not, would they choose that?
Yeah.
And I think we both agree that the fact that women would choose it usually, but I don't think I think the reason is like the comparison I made was through the UFC fighters. The UFC fighters the men that get kicked below the waist, get kicked, and then also the women that get kicked below the waist, both get 5 minutes total to recover. And I was thinking, like, it can't feel the same, but I think it's funny. Sorry, this is basically summing up that whole half an hour in the non-gross way of saying, like, I can't describe to you completely how getting kicked in the balls feels.
Yeah.
And you can't completely get. So I wasn't comparing, saying childbirth must feel like getting kicked in the balls.
Just saying that it's two different things that the other person really can't understand.
Yeah.
Even if you do those simulations of contractions, like, okay, you can kind of get an idea of that, but you can't know what it feels like having a baby come through, like, the birth canal, like something that big coming out of you, and what your insides would feel like. Like, you can kind of understand the pain, but
that's surprisingly, that's the interesting part of the movie Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger, is the fact that he carries a baby to term, and then eventually, but then, like, when childbirth starts, where, because they make all this, the jokes of, like, breathe, he's giving childbirth, he's doing that, his water breaks, all those jokes, right? I think we'll have to have a refresher.
I don't remember.
But where's the baby headed? Like, where would it go naturally through the pee hole? That's not the same idea, right?
I mean, no, but that would be kind of the idea of it. Like, if, because that was something I realized, that what makes a man and woman, like, when a baby is inside of you, essentially your ovaries as a man come out of your body.
Yes. Yeah, we were talking about
that.
And then
for a female, it just stays in. So it's like, it's similar reproductive. Obviously, it's very different. But as far as, like, when I saw the anatomy, or I don't know, I saw something, and I was like, actually, yeah, that looks like your ovaries.
Yeah.
And essentially, your ovaries are your testicles, and it's just outside of you. And your birth canal is the penis. Like, if you're thinking of, like, how it forms when it's developing,
right.
Like, kind of the way that which direction it's going to go.
Right.
So that was kind of like an epiphany of, like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
We got all the same parts, baby. We all have.
So I think, like, in Junior, that's kind of what it would be, is like the penis is like your birth canal, but it's not supposed to get that big.
Right.
So it would be extremely painful for a man. It would destroy his penis.
Right.
And birth, or women giving birth destroys their vagina. It's never the same after.
Is it really? Is that true? I always thought that
people
said, like, it kind of goes back a little bit.
I mean, it goes back, but it's not the same. It's going to be different.
I would assume that eventually, somewhere in the movie Junior, they probably say, we need to do an emergency C-section.
I'm pretty sure they do a cesarean.
Right.
I don't think he gives actual childbirth.
Can't be. But yeah, so I thought it was apropos to since the general idea is to try to get as many people to the Facebook page as possible, we want to make sure. Thank you so much, Karen. And thank you very much, Karen, for looking out and letting us know you couldn't hear, because I honestly, again,
have known.
Why it would take out all of the default settings that I've always used, I have no idea, but we are here. And if you would like to join in, you are more than welcome to join in still. You can still pound off, obviously, in the comments on YouTube, or you can call the show. So if you'd like to talk about your uterine lining, or where you think the baby came out of Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Junior, or if you remember, honestly, you can call the show at 717-559-2971 anytime. You can call it 24/7. You can leave a voicemail. If there's a topic you want to talk about, if there's a point we missed on a topic, or if you wanted to share your idea of what a good story would be to talk about, let us know. You can leave a voicemail, you can send a text message, or you can call live anytime we go live from 11 a.m.-ish until 1 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on YouTube. The video obviously is going to be shared as well on the Gross Domesticated podcast page and Baby Mermaid Productions, but you know where to get it. Now you know there's a home for Gross Domesticated Podcast Live. GDP Live right here. So you had a really busy Monday and a really busy Tuesday. You're off today. We're going to do some grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do if, let's just say we went out and we went to get in the car and we noticed that our neighbor across the street, their cat got out. But their cat is actually a tiger that they have owned illegally.
What would I do?
Yeah.
Call animal control?
Animal control?
Yeah.
Do you think animal control is fit to deal with a tiger? Or would you call a zoo? Or would you call 911?
I would not call 911.
Why not?
Because they're just going to shoot it.
Take it easy.
Well, they're not trained to get a tiger.
But I guess, well, I would think, would you call 911 because then they would know who to call?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's logical, but my first instinct would be animal control.
So
because they would have.
That's really interesting. I'm not saying that I don't mean to sound like condescending, but
yeah.
I mean that in the way that like, oh shit, like you could, like yeah, I wouldn't, I don't know, like I asked that question, not really completely having my answer, but also when you said animal control, I'm like, animal control.
Control that animal. It's a fucking tiger.
That's a big fucking animal though.
Yeah.
I mean they don't have. Does animal control have the training that somebody like?
I'm sure.
I guess you call animal control. You would call wildlife control, like a park ranger.
No, I would call animal control because they're the like 911 of an animal situation. So I think they would get there quicker and they would be able to.
Karen, that's tasteless.
Is the tiger? Oh boy.
It's mixed.
Yes.
It's orange and black and white.
Yep. Sometimes, well, yeah, white too.
And I don't really see color in as far as tigers, so.
Oh God, here we go.
All right, so. What?
But they would have like tranquilizers or like I think. I mean, you could call the zoo. I think that's valid as well. But I think it might. I don't know that they're as mobile. Like I don't know how quickly they would get to us or whatever to the situation.
All right, so there's a video here. Oh wait, no, why would that one show? Computer, I'm about to fucking rip you to shreds. Do you understand me? It's doing such, those little things that they always say like it's for your convenience. We can have split screen display and all this other shit that I'm like can you just take that feature off? Because every time I try to drag something, it's like, do you want it split screen? And I'm like, no, I just want to drag this over here. Okay, so do you want this in a new window? It's like, no, can I just take this window over here? It's just run-of-the-mill computer stuff today, guys. Okay? Just my employees, I'm being as patient as I can.
Yeah, you're doing
great. But good God, these employees of mine are pissing me off today. Mm-hmm. Want me to shut the sound off, boss? No, never, ever. I'm a podcaster. I want a podcast. Most of it's from here, from my voice, and you need to hear it. If you can see me gesture and say, "Oh man, that's crazy about your period." Oh, interesting. Yeah. But really you got to hear the words to get where the that's where the content is, baby. You're just looking at content. You're just looking at my voice right now, okay? You're just getting a visual. You're saying like, "What does that guy look like?" Oh, ew. And then you go back, But this someone's illegal pet tiger got loose in Houston. So everybody's moving to Texas right now. The link is going to be in the description of the video afterwards. And so you'll be able to watch the video as clear as possible. I don't think you've seen this yet.
I don't think so.
Have you even heard of this?
No.
Yeah, probably because they're like, no, people are moving to Texas. Don't tell them about those tigers that are loose. Because, hey, guess what? Even the cats are bigger in Texas, baby. So here it is. You ready? All right, hold on. Let me actually unmute this too. Oh, wait, it's not muted. Okay, perfect. I love this the guy who's filming's reaction the best. Oi, come on, you. I knew that was going to happen. No, sir. No, sir. No. So the guy's talking to it like it's a regular cat, which is
like,
my favorite part.
No, sir.
Get the fuck back inside.
What?
Fuck you and your fucking tiger. Get the fuck back inside. Get the fuck back inside. I don't know who the fuck this is. Get the fuck back inside.
So basically, the guy I think reacted, I think correctly. If I had to say, he's upset. He seems to be. I think whoever's tiger it is also. So now think about if just generally, like just if this is a dog, right? Just a dog. Already, you're nervous about your dog getting loose, especially if it's a rambunctious dog, or if it's a rambunctious dog that's like known as kind of an aggressive breed. A lot of times those, those situations can be a little hairy. Imagine if it's a fucking tiger. You've grown it from a baby. This is all assuming.
You hope they didn't just get a. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily full grown. That looks like maybe it's a couple years old.
Yeah.
It's big, but it's about the size of a large dog.
Yeah. It's a big fuck. It's a tiger that can fuck you up.
Yes, you're gonna get hurt. So, but I would hope they wouldn't be like, oh, I just got this, because you would think it would be used to humans, like if you got it from a cub.
Yeah.
But you can see in that driveway. So I'm assuming because that's where it started out in the yard. So I'm assuming it's from across the street. They've got a big dumpster in the driveway. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if they're moving or they're remodeling, and it accidentally got out. I mean, obviously they didn't let their tiger out.
Yeah, I would have to say this was. Hold on, let me get something to move this mouse on. There we go. So let me replay the video real quick. So I'm assuming it's this. So this is someone's illegal pet tiger got loose in a Houston neighborhood.
That's a nice house. So this person's got money.
Yeah, most likely this is somebody who like owns a jet ski store or something. You know what I mean? Like I think this is more like this is less exotic pet owner, more like new money. I was trying to think, what's the Titanic? Remember the Titanic?
Yes.
Titanic? I'm new money or whatever. This is like a redneck that was like.
And they don't like new money. They want old money.
Right. This guy. So I think, and then when this guy goes, get the fuck back in your house, I think that's him saying like, God damn it, Randy. Like, just fucking leave, man. This guy's tiger definitely has gotten out before. No, sir. See? So, okay. So this is the guy. There's a truck over here.
Guy?
I think this is his tiger. When he says "get the fuck back in your house," I think he's saying like, I don't know though.
No, I don't think so.
Unless he's saying like, I
think he's saying "get the fuck back in your house." Like I don't
think. Well, I at first when I first watched this video, I thought he was talking to somebody in like his daughter or something, like somebody or son or somebody trying to like, what's going on, Dad? Like, get the fuck back in the house. This is not this is that thing of like when you go to touch the oven or something like that, or the stove or whatever.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like. I need you to know.
Yeah, if your dad talks to you that way, like
you're
move.
Like, oh shit. Yeah. No, sir.
Because if it's his,
it's not working. By the way,
if it's his tiger, I don't think he's gonna be behaving that way.
Well, no. I think this. It's not this guy. The guy who's filming right now. It's not his. I don't think it's his tiger.
But you think it's that guy's tiger?
I think it's this guy, and I think he's like, God, you obviously don't have control of the situation. The cops are already on the way, kind of thing. That's what. But I'm reading way too much into this, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, see, okay, so.
Because would he be reacting like that if it's his tiger? He would be like, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah, that's what he's saying. No, sir. Like he's talking to it like he has control over it. That's what I'm saying. I think this is like it might be a mix between like a Tiger King / but this guy was out of his house. Obviously, filming. And then when the tiger just looks at him, he fucking runs inside. Smart, I think. And comes back out. Still filming. But yeah, now he's inside his house, yeah.
Get the fuck back inside. Fuck you and your fucking tiger. Get the fuck back inside now.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
So he's saying,
it's his tiger. This is his tiger, I think. So he's telling, get him. So I don't know if he's saying, I don't want to fucking watch a guy get eaten by a tiger right now. Get inside. or if he's saying you run inside your house and has your tiger chase you and eat you in there or something like, you know what I mean? Like,
can we just watch the whole video?
Yeah. We had a little incident, obviously, during the. Here we go.
He's got a gun. That's not his tiger.
That's his tiger. He says, "Get you and your fucking tiger inside."
Yeah, but it's not the person recording because
No.
it sounds like it's far away.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I've never ever said that it's this guy recording's tiger. It's the guy that I pointed to a bunch of times. It's his tiger. The human being over here talking to the tiger.
Get the fuck back inside. I don't know who the fuck this is. Get the fuck back inside.
Oh, okay. So it's not okay.
Right,
So
he's got a gun.
so who the fuck is who's? I'm wondering this guy. Yeah, there's a lot of nice houses.
Yeah, it's a nice neighborhood.
Well,
because the person that's talking isn't the person recording. The person that's talking is this guy. Because you can tell it's from far away.
So yeah, it's this guy. It's not his tiger, but he's talking to the guy.
Yes.
But it's not this guy's tiger.
No.
Either. I know it
Yes,
can't be this
right.
guy.
No,
because
it's
he's
not.
also running the fuck away.
Yeah.
But when he's saying no,
That's why I think it's
who is that then? I wonder if that's the tiger owner.
No, I think it's him saying like, like stay in your yard and that's why he's got the gun. So I think it comes from the house across the
Why did
street.
he get out?
Nobody is there.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's I think maybe a construction worker or somebody because they've got like a dumpster in the driveway. So something might have happened where somebody opened a door like something happened. The tiger's out. There's nobody around.
Yes.
That owns the tiger, because if you own the tiger, I feel like you're gonna be calmer and be like, come on, let's go. He's got a fucking gun.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It.
Look, that's why that's why it invoked Tiger King memories in my head. Just saying I love these tigers, but I'll shoot that fucking bitch. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
And that's why he's saying like, get the fuck back in your house. Like go that way.
Yeah.
I want you to go back that way.
Karen says it was the other guy's tiger because he said, "Let me get it." Well, yeah. That's it could be that, or it could just be an animal. Let me get it, man. Don't kill it. It's beautiful. I don't want it. I also don't want, like you said, you're going to call animal control. You're going to call somebody that's going to tranquilize it.
Right. You
don't want somebody to shoot it.
Yeah. Don't.
You
you can't
It's
blame
not
a
their
tiger.
fault.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't blame a tiger for attacking a human because that's like in its nature. If it's threatened or if it's like the other thing is it could be super friendly. And it wants to play, but it'll kill you playing.
Yeah.
Like it's super strong, and if it bites you, you could bleed out. Like it's just not a good idea to have a tiger in a
not a great idea
in a fucking house.
No, I
in
think
Texas, like come on.
This most likely was probably in a backyard cage or anything like that. I want to see if there's. I don't know if it's safe to use this or not. Let's find out if we can use the. Let's see.
Hey, at least you did it. It wasn't me.
Houston neighborhood.
Can't get mad at me.
Okay, let me just go ahead and there we go. I'm just gonna copy and paste this bitch.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, usually that'll work, but you know.
What do you think of my new lipstick? I just got it yesterday. It's called Hell of a Matte.
Hell of a matte.
Yeah.
Is that why you had to bring the straw?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it's
Looks
not.
great.
It doesn't like. It's not like a stain where it stays.
Mhm.
It's a crayon. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, you
Looks
like it?
good.
Is it too
Pops.
dark?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a little dark for like maybe with that shirt.
Like
kinda thing.
daytime?
Yeah. I think it's like
It's
a
a
nighttime.
nighttime.
Right? Is
Okay.
that right?
Yeah.
Is that a correct
That is.
assessment?
Very
So
correct.
the owner of the tiger was the owner of a tiger that was spotted roaming loose in a Houston neighborhood on Sunday has been identified as 28-year-old Victor. What is that? Cuevas?
I don't know.
Okay. Cuevas. Cuevas.
Uh-huh.
According to multiple police sources, video of the incident shows a man grab the tiger by what appears to be the collar and lead it into a home. Oh,
Okay, so let's watch that video.
yeah. Where the fuck is that video?
Maybe that one.
Which one?
No, the middle one.
Hold on. Let me. Chloe, you have got to stop it. You're adding a lot of chaos here.
Yeah, and it says nearly shot by the neighbor, so that's not his.
Right. Yep. That's you hitting that microphone again, Chloe. Next thing's going to be you hitting the floor.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let anything I press fucking happen today. Computers are failing us, or they're finally attacking. How's about you give me some video?
Oh my goodness.
All right, so on to the next. There, I guess, is there will be news eventually of a tiger being led into a home. Look it up.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's incredible. It's probably great. It's a great video that will never be seen by these eyes on this computer ever, because this computer is obviously wanting a raise or something. This employee in particular, is pissing me off. But I think either way, if this tiger doesn't fucking chill the fuck out, I'm going to freak out. Chloe, enough. Get out of here. Go on.
She wants some love.
Good. Go get it from your brother.
She's definitely not going to get it from him. Today is, I think, an off day. Like, the computer's on its period. I'm on my period.
We're all synced up.
It's
a different kind of sync. Well, no, it's the same sync.
Yeah,
with
It's the alpha male or alpha female that determines that. And at work, I got to tell you, I'm not the alpha.
Wait, you should be though, right?
Yeah, but I'm not.
Oh. Wait, what do you mean the alpha? Oh, the alpha
That's
female
who
determines. Yeah. How is there an alpha female?
That's who you sync up with. Like there's somebody. I don't know what it is. Maybe your hormones are stronger. But it's like an alpha female.
That's interesting. I had no idea. I didn't know that. I thought the alpha thing was like not that it was only for males.
Men, yeah.
But like I thought that was like,
I'll look it up.
Like just a male term. So like so do you think that there was a it's so weird. So is there always an alpha and a beta essentially in a relationship? So who do you think was the alpha in Bill and Melinda Gates' relationship?
That's a good question.
Because he's a real fucking dork. Right? But he's like a really rich dork.
But just because you're smart doesn't mean you're an alpha. You know what I mean?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think a really smart person a lot of times, like I think that's the thing that a lot of people bring up is like usually kind of what you want is somebody who's so smart. God damn it, Chloe, if you knock over more beverages.
She didn't knock over the last one.
If she knocks over more beverages,
okay.
Listen to the words. I'm gonna be pissed. I'll finish that sentence. But God damn it, what was I just saying? What'd you find out about alpha?
Yeah, I just typed it in. Alpha. So what determines it? Because not saying, like I was saying, that just because he's really smart doesn't make him alpha.
Oh no, anybody that's smart enough to lead usually knows that they don't want to. That's what I was trying to think.
Yeah.
That's the connection I was trying to make, was saying like usually if there is an alpha, it's like I'm a lot smarter, but I also don't want to be in charge because I know that's a lot of responsibility and I don't want it, or whatever. Like that's not always taking. You may be the smartest, but also you know that you don't have to try as hard. You know what I mean? Or I guess that's the thing is like you know that you don't. Like you already have that advantage. I don't know what it is, but I don't think he's necessarily like smarter than her.
No,
I don't think it was that. Because I feel, but I kind of always felt like that. What did you find out?
Okay, so I don't know. What I typed is why do women sync up periods? I don't know if that's not necessarily the right. But it says it's commonly believed that women who live together eventually experience the syncing of their monthly periods, but could it just be chance? The theory behind syncing of menstrual cycles is that women's pheromones interact when they are in close proximity, causing them to have their periods at the same time. I do think so, like when women in like back in the day tribes, I think it makes sense. I don't know if instinctual is the right thing, but like just how our bodies work is you would want the women all to be pregnant at the same time so you can help each other.
Oh, okay.
So like it's and that's why like where they say like it takes a village, because women could kind of trade off like, okay, I'm going to go sleep, you watch the kids for a little bit, and everybody's breastfeeding because everyone's pregnant at the same time. then you can just, it doesn't have to be all on that one woman, that it's everybody's together. It's a little community and you help each other out. Hey, I'll watch the kids. You go sleep.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about it. Like, you don't have to worry about.
What happens if they all go into labor at the same time? You don't have
they
enough
help
towels.
each other. Well, if
What is that? Okay.
in a tribe,
But
like,
after a
you're
while,
not,
like-
there's not really towels. They're just probably leaves and.
Take it easy.
I don't know. I mean, they got furs.
Yeah,
Animal furs.
Well, I guess that's the thing. Is like like that makes it sound more like that. I don't know. I guess I always thought it was takes a village because you need more than one. You need more than just one person's perspective.
I mean, that
like,
too.
that kind of
That's
thing
part
of,
of
like-
it. But it's actually like the physical. I was just listening to where my mom's at, and this woman called and she was like, I have not. She's like, I've slept collectively 3 days in the last 11 months. Her child will not sleep. And so she's just like, I don't know what to do. And Christina was like, leave the kid with someone you trust and go get a hotel and sleep for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, because you need that break. And then that's what we were talking about earlier, too, of like how the roles in parenting are not switching.
How old is the baby?
11 months.
I mean, you can't just like put it in a fucking in a crate.
Well, no, that's what she was like.
Or
I've
whatever.
tried to let him. They've tried everything. Like, they've tried to let him like cry it out so that hopefully they eventually fall back asleep. But it's too long. Sometimes that works with kids. That's real life. Like, you could have a child that does not sleep.
I feel like that the like things like that are always like you can just have a kid that just doesn't sleep. I cannot comprehend that even a little bit. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing with like cats not eating. It's kind of like the thing of like, hey, I'm going to keep putting the food down here, and if you don't eat it, tough shit. Like, that's the thing is like I will do everything that I can with what we have here.
Right.
But after a while, I'm just going to keep putting it down, and if you don't eat it, you don't eat. But that's a problem with kids, is the fact that I guess sleeping is not necessarily a thing. Your sleep is more important.
Yes.
So it's a matter of like put it in a soundproof room and go to bed.
Yeah.
Go where you know nothing's going to go wrong. Like, but
right. But you can't
Right.
that's where your
So
instincts kick in, or like you're just not able to because your child's in the other room screaming.
yeah, that would fucking.
But that's where the partnership comes in.
Yeah.
But like I talking to somebody else that's a parent, their son just turned a year a couple months ago, so he's like 13 or 14 months, and he got sick for the first time, and just crying, wants his mom. And so her husband was like, just go take a shower, I'll handle him, like, and then take a nap. Like, it is what it is, he's sick. And she said it took everything in her to go do that because she just couldn't stand him crying. Like, that's also instincts for women. That's a signal that something's wrong. So like when you hear your baby crying, it's the worst sound in the world, and you can't sleep. Like, that's the other thing is like, okay, I'll go lay down, but I can't actually sleep because I'm anxious.
Well, I mean, I guess I can understand that of saying like I'm anxious, I can't stand that noise or anything like that. But if you get away from that noise,
right?
Like that's the part where,
and that's
like,
what she was saying is like, go get out, like go get a hotel.
And that's the stuff where I think it takes a village. That's the stuff where I'm going 100%. Like, oh yeah.
You have to give yourself a break, but that's where that like also the partnership of the husband, like you should also get up and help in the middle of the night. It shouldn't just be the woman. No. And I know like some families will do it where like, well, he gets up and works in the morning, so I do it, but you have to be up all day with the kid. Right. Like it's okay. Like both of us just need to be tired. It shouldn't just be one person. Mm-hmm. Both of us.
I think it's the partnership of it. Well, I guess that's in general though. I guess you have to want it the same, or you have to want it close to the same, because stuff like that sounds like that's stuff, or you have to be on the same level, same wavelength, because stuff like that is going to be, I think, frustrating for us, because it's going to be like me, like, just fucking let it go somewhere. It's going to be a lot of that because you're going to be all emotional, and I feel like I'm going to be all practical.
Yeah.
But then you have to be able to allow the space for those other things too.
Yeah. But letting a kid, like, that's another, I mean, and I think that's the thing with parenting of, like, when they say this is traumatic and, like, there's different things, like, the cry it out method is frowned upon in the parenting community. That can be traumatizing to leave your child. Like, that's not a good thing.
The parenting
There's a
community
balance of it.
Compared to what's the other communities?
Well, just parenting communities in general. Just like there's a split. Like vaccines, no vaccines. Let them cry it out. Don't let them cry it out. Let them sleep with you. Don't let them sleep with you. Like
so there's a right and wrong to every answer. Is what you're saying?
No. There's not a right and wrong
Yeah,
because everybody does it.
Vaccines, yes.
Okay.
And just for everybody to know, vaccines, yes or no? Yes, just the one. There's only one answer. Yeah.
I was like, no, there's many vaccines.
Yeah, you can also abuse your children as well if you'd like. Or you can get them vaccinated for diseases that they could die from. For their education and health. But you're right. As long as parenting communities are talking about it, good. Those people
they're the ones that are making the decisions are the parents.
No. They're the ones that are making the babies. The decisions are to be had by whatever article they read at that. Like, I feel like parenting communities compared to medical communities or other, you know what I mean? Like, that's like what I don't understand what who the parenting community is like railing against in this case, or like who would they be adverse to in that scenario? Because parenting communities are great for people to have resources of like, oh, I've experienced this too. Try this, or this.
Right.
But I'm not an expert. That's just worked for me.
Right.
Like, but I feel like after a while, the parenting communities there becomes an alpha parent that everybody starts listening to because they're the expert. How do you become an expert if there are different things for every other thing? Like, you know everything about parenting? Or is it just a community of social, like you socially like diagnose and treat issues that may or may not be within your realm. Do you know what I mean?
Kind of.
Parenting communities of I'm a parent, so I know.
Yeah,
that's what it fucking reads to me, and I don't necessarily
I think it's more. This has been my experience. So I mean,
Usually.
I'm sure there are people there that are like, no, this is the right answer, and that's fine if you feel that that's the right answer. But it's, everybody's different, and people's cultures are different. That will allow things and not allow things, and you just have to do the best that you can, and you can't look at other people. Like, I don't know, you just use it as like a sounding board. Like, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. Who else is, struggling with this?
Yeah, I feel like
because you don't know, like, every situation's so different. Every child is different.
Right. So
you can't do the same thing even within your own children. You're going to have to tailor it because they're different people.
Yeah. And that's, you're going to have to deal with that anyway. And there's always going to be a situation, I guess, in those things where you want to look for like an expert.
Your pediatrician is your expert,
yeah,
and you need to find someone
that's
that
who
you
you
trust.
should go for.
If you go, and not that you need to find a doctor that's going to give you the answers you want, but if you're feeling uncomfortable, then go like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can find a different pediatrician.
I think I worry though. That's the issue, and that was the stigma a lot of times with, I think.
But again, that's where those communities come in, and you say, who do you trust? Why do you like this doctor? And you can see, okay, if it's local.
Yeah, but I feel like if it comes down to, it shouldn't be like who do you trust. It should be who has like the best record. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
It shouldn't be. I guess that's the thing is I'm somebody who, as far as like medically, when I go to, whether it be a dentist, a doctor, anything like that, I would like better bedside manner. I look for that. I want them to be. You're already a doctor. you're here. You got your fucking license and shit.
Right.
So as far as I'm concerned, I would like somebody with a little bit better personality and will talk to me like a human being.
Yes.
So that's what I look for in a doctor.
And someone that's considerate.
But as
like
far as
if
like who I trust, like that's personal.
Well, right, but that's, I mean, this is somebody you're working with to
but don't you
protect
don't you think that's dangerous, like when you have those mommy groups? Because I feel like those
I
mommy
think
groups
it can be.
That's the same stigma. I think mommy groups are the new stigma of like what used to be housewives that sit and watch daytime TV all day and think that's a reality, or watch the news and think that's the only reality, or whatever it may be, of this like, well, I watched Dr. Phil, and did you know that there's gang members out there? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but there's also just like people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they kind of always, I feel like the mommy groups are how you get to the point where you're like, oh, vaccines are stupid. And that's why I have other moms that support me, because you have people supporting really fucking shitty ideas too, because they don't trust doctors.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think
what does that fucking mean?
think it's but even the same thing with doctors, you don't, I mean, you need, I don't know. It's all within balance of like, you can't just, I think when it comes to raising children, you shouldn't have one source of information. You need to get it from multiple, and you come up to your own conclusion of what you're comfortable with doing.
Yeah, I can see that. That's the issue, I think, that maybe I come down to with parenting or having kids in general. Like people having kids, like as a whole, is the fact that the moral dilemma of like you saying your opinion, so it ultimately comes down, you can get professional advice from doctors, but ultimately that child's care is down to your opinion of what your gut says.
Yeah.
That's scary. Isn't that scary to you?
No, because it's your
how the fuck am I supposed, if the doctor says I think they should have all their shots, and you go like, yeah, but some people's guts tell them, no, I don't think they should get any vaccines because my gut says they're bad.
Yeah.
And like they say, okay, but how about this, and this, and it's actually good to not have polio.
Yeah.
And it's good to not have like whooping cough and all these ancient diseases that we've solved. It's good to have these things.
Yeah.
And then they go, yeah. But I feel like it's not good. Don't you think that's dangerous? You know what I mean? Like that. I guess I get.
I mean, I guess I'm not talking about it when it comes to a specific thing like vaccines. I'm saying in general, you need to, whether it's co-sleeping, when they start eating, what their development should look like. I'm talking about the entire spectrum, not just one specific thing. So I think you do need to go with your gut on what you think is right. I mean, I'm not going to agree with everything that everybody, I think the majority of people would do vaccines. So hopefully that keeps us safe. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I would get my kids vaccinated if it's me. That's what I'm comfortable with, because if I look at the pros and cons to not, and so what, like the main causes is autism. Is that like the main factor? No, I'm saying no. I'm not saying that that's the act. I'm saying that's the argument. Isn't that the main?
Right.
Like, what is the argument of not getting your kids vaccinated?
Right.
It's autism, right? I think that's the like.
Yeah,
what are the other arguments?
I think that's what they're saying. Is saying that you could turn my kid autistic if you have vaccines.
I think autistic kids are probably going to be the ones that thrive going forward.
Yeah.
Like,
they're already used
I
to
think
not
that's
touching.
us evolving. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be, I don't know. I think we've talked about that before. Like, this is the new, like, they don't have, not that it's good, but like, you don't have to, the impersonal interactions feel like we're getting further and further, especially after the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's all communicating through social media, through screens, like all of that, and that's where a lot of kids like are just more comfortable with that. So like, hey, let's get them vaccinated. Let's get them autistic, and they're gonna fit right in with the majority of people. I don't know.
I've said it for years. This goes all way back to, I think, even before the Buddha Boys, but I shared it. I remember first there of saying like I feel like autism is kind of like is our version of like X-Men. Like it's evolution.
Yes,
we're
yes.
just
It's like we're evolving into that. Yeah.
And I never understood that. Like it's so funny that as far as evolution
and everyone's
goes,
on the spectrum now. Like everybody's autistic.
Yeah, and
like they don't even there used to be they would say okay, like Asperger's. You're diagnosed with Asperger's, but now there's a spectrum within that.
Yeah.
Where there's like some are able to function, some aren't. Like it's more extreme. It's not. So it's just like everybody's just on a spectrum of what they can handle, and I think that's where the mental health like stuff comes in. Is like everybody's different. Everybody approaches the world in a different way, and we just need to be, open-minded to that, not be so judgmental.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is like because of that weird thing too, where they're like, I don't want my kids getting autism, and it's like autistic parents are like, why? What's you know what I mean? They're kind of, it's that thing of like, and that's what I'm saying is it, and I will say this right fucking now. Listen to my words, parents, fucking phonies.
And we're not parents.
No.
So we don't
But we plan on being parents one day, and this is how I will go into it. This is my mentality going into parenting, is the fact that you say, I would love my children no matter what. I love my children no matter what. But don't give them autism, because why? Won't you love them no matter what?
They could have
There's nothing wrong with them? You fucking phony, lying piece of shit.
So to play devil's advocate,
I want to love my kid, but only when they're perfect and exactly how I wanted them to be made.
No, I don't think it's that. It's more of
whatever happened to God's plan, man.
Well, if it's God's plan, then we should be plagued with diseases.
Well,
we shouldn't have any vaccines.
Yeah, we
should just die.
We should.
Because God created those diseases, right?
Man
created the vaccine.
The 17-year cicadas are coming, so that's one plague, right? That's got to be a plague. Plague of locusts?
That was locust was.
Yeah. Check. We got the disease. Check.
Corona. I mean.
Yeah,
that's God saying.
Yeah, I just said that. The disease. Check.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, sorry. There's lots of diseases, so I didn't know you're going.
The main one that we had to shut down the world for,
Gotcha.
Check.
We've had to do it before.
It should just be raining blood soon, and then the firstborn, and then you're gonna be like, no, not my firstborn. He's the one that got shots or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I it's so strange. So sorry, you were gonna play devil's advocate for the.
Oh, you don't want your kid to have a tough life. Like if learning, I know, but if depending on what it is. It's not a matter of I'm going to love this child less. It's you want your kids to have the best.
They will live a long, full life without polio or smallpox now that you've gotten them vaccinated.
Yeah. But if they have a learning disability or if things are difficult for them, you don't want that for your kids. I mean, if it happens, and you help them, you give them the tools, as many tools as possible to be able to live as a fulfilled, easy life as possible.
Yeah.
Nobody's life is easy. You can give your kids all the tools in the world, and or you have all the resources in the world. Doesn't mean your life's going to be easy. But I mean, I'm not a parent. I just assume like that's how I would feel. Is I just want to give my kids the best chance at the most successful life that they want. Whatever, not my definition of success, but whatever I want them to be.
You want them to be as base level as like normal, like to say like, okay, no problems whatsoever. They're able to just take from here and just build on whatever they can. Yeah, I totally understand that.
And so I think I just think it's not a matter of like, oh, my kid's not perfect, I'm not going to love it as much. It's just more like and the other side of it of how much harder it's going to be for you. So like I think of my grandparents that had my uncle that had. Well, he's since passed away, but he had Down syndrome. He wasn't potty trained until he was like 10.
Ugh.
Like how difficult that is to like somebody that has a learning disability that essentially is an infant for the first 15 years of their life. Like that's hard. Mm-hmm. That's the getting up in the middle of the night. Like all of that is like there's seasons, you know, like, okay, the first year we're not going to get a lot of sleep. After that, it should kind of, you'll get a routine. It'll be somewhat normal. Having diapers, like that sucks because you have to have a diaper bag with you and you always have to make sure. So like as they get older, obviously like things get easier. You don't have to be, you know, when you're an infant for the first, I think it's 3 months, they have to feed every 2 hours. That's exhausting for a woman that's breastfeeding because only mom can do that. And you have to be up every 2 hours doing that. And maybe you're not, you need to pump so that you do get a break so that you could, you know, that your partner could do it so that you can get some sleep. So you're not physically doing it every 2 hours.
Right.
But you know, things get easier, but if you have a child with a disability, it doesn't get easier. It's not the traditional growth path.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. And that affects if you're not getting sleep, if you're stressed, that affects your marriage, that, affects your work life, like because you can't be present at work, which then you're stressed because if you can't make money, then you can't support your kids. Like it's a lot. Like there's a lot that goes into it. So it's a big decision. I think it's way better to have them vaccinated, but that's my opinion.
Right.
That's what I feel safe. That decision would give me peace of mind.
Yeah.
If it's another mom that says I'm gonna be a mess, like that's not gonna give me peace of mind. It's gonna make me worried or whatever. Then you know that's you have that right to make that decision. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's just me.
We got some pounding here. I just want to make sure you can see it on the screen, but I wanted to double check so you know. I'm pretty sure it's Karen. But it looks like it's under a different name. But Karen says, get yes to all the shots. She says, also, don't get me started on crazy moms because I feel like it's the same thing. Like, no matter what, no matter how, if you've
Timmy's mom pisses me off.
if you've had kids or not, I feel like there's all of the regular stigmas. I do a bit about it of like when the term, as long as the kids had a good time, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And it's like to be a truly like good parent, and really in my opinion you have to be one of the most selfish people in the world, like to be totally focused on your child, but it is for the benefit of other people.
Yes.
Like it's the thing of like, as long as my kid had a good experience and had this thing, nothing traumatic happened, so guess what, made it out alive again. Because you personally, and we've talked about this a bunch of times, this was my original like major hesitation to wanting to be a parent, was you can be perfect.
Yeah.
You can be absolutely perfect, and they can have one fucking camping trip or one fucking trip with an uncle or somebody that you're like, they're a little weird or something like that. We got weird uncles in our family for sure. Cricket, shout out to Cricket and Nick. You weird motherfuckers. You definitely you would give our baby trauma at some point, and that's fine. Not in a weird way, like in the same camping way that I'm talking about, but in a way that like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have experienced this. You know, maybe I was too young to.
Yeah, you can't control their surroundings, but I mean,
we've all been in like we've talked about that. I think even John talked about it. How traumatizing it can be going to like a baseball game, and there's like, you're pissing in the trough, and you just see a bunch of these as a little kid, and you just like you're like almost eye level with all these disgusting old man dicks. Yeah. And then you're just like, oh my, like something like that can be like, oh my God, and give you some kind of weird complex down the way that the parents had nothing to do with and have no real control over.
Yeah.
Except for
But that's what you got to teach your kids. Like you can't control things.
How's it going, buddy? Hi, Ian. Hi, Ian. Ian's pounding off here too. Yeah, he found us. That was the thing. This is a new home officially of GDP Live. Every time we're going to go live from right here until further notice. If you want to pound off, you're more than welcome to pound off in the comments, as well as you can call in on the number below here. You can't see it necessarily. Well, actually, you can probably.
Yeah,
if
why
you're watching
can't they see it?
I don't know. Well, I don't know, if he's calling or I don't know if he can read. I don't know Ian's illiteracy. This is good. Keep doing that. Keep stroking the number. You can call in 717-559-2971. That's 717-559-2971. There's something at the door.
Special delivery.
What could be here?
I don't know.
Unless it's somebody trying to break in. Could be the cops.
They ring the doorbell.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Well, it could be just a house call. Like, hey, we got a disturbance in the area. I wanted to know if you heard anything. There were some cats fighting in an apartment near here.
Don't know what you're talking about, officer.
What are you talking about? There's a tiger in Houston. Check that video out, Ian. There is a. I'll be putting it up in the description later on. You can watch the tiger video that we were watching earlier. Tiger got loose in Houston, and we wanted to watch it get led back into its house by its collar, but technology failed us.
Yeah.
So we moved on to parenting. No, I think that was my main hesitation. Was like, you can be perfect as far as going.
You do
your
everything.
intentions.
Yeah, you do everything that you feel is right. Like,
right.
This is, whatever. This was the perfect situation that we feel, and like you said, somebody else can just fuck it up for you.
Right. And so if you come down to that level, you can be perfect and still end up with that. So why not just try to do everything correct in general? I don't know, or have the best of intentions, or don't overspeak. It's not really the biggest deal. Is it really the biggest deal that your kid had the best time, or is it the fact that your kid made it out safe, alive, and had a good time? You know what I mean? Because if you think about all of the great times you had as a kid, like, how traumatizing really was it? I'm gonna call you when you're not live. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we want you to.
And leave a message.
Yeah, there's.
And then we'll talk about
Ian,
it.
I know you're trying to be a little smart aleck, buddy. But guess what? That's exactly what we want you to do. You can text that number, you can call that number, and you can leave a voicemail 24/7, anytime you want. That's 717-559-2971. It'll spell something eventually. So wait, hold on. 5. Yeah. See, I every time I do it, I just go, okay, there's 3 letters. No. And then I just get.
Yeah.
By the time I get to the second 5, I'm like, wait, does anything go?
Yeah, there's no JKL.
JK.
JK.
JK. And
Just
then 9.
kidding.
Just kidding. And it could be a Z. Yeah, see that.
Yeah, man, that's not gonna work.
559, and then maybe I could spell a last word. 29. Nope. B1. See.
We can figure it out.
AW. I'm doing it now. AWS. Because there's no for 1. There's no letter for 1.
Interesting. I wonder why that is.
Oz 1. 559 Oz 1. Nope, it doesn't help. It's supposed to help you remember the number.
Yeah.
The letters, so I guess that doesn't really help. But no, we were talking about, from what I read, speaking of parenting, the reason Bill and Melinda Gates, or no, I didn't read that.
I told you.
You told me.
Yeah.
I read it through your eyes.
that
Bill and Melinda Gates stayed together for the kids.
Well, they were waiting. So I guess the divorce proceedings started, or the talk or whatever started in 2019, but they waited to announce it until their daughter was 18.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's been in the works, but with all the money and stuff that they have, I'm sure it was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We got to talk about what's going to happen. But I think, as long as it's not like an abusive thing and that's something you both agree with, of like, hey, this is going to be difficult for our family. Our kid, I'm assuming, is still in high school. Let's let them finish out their high school year. And, now you're an adult, you're 18, and, it's a season of transition. Mm-hmm. So you're 18, you're now officially an adult. So your life is going to be changing. Let's change all of it. Yeah. Instead of like, you're in the middle of your senior year of high school, your parents divorce, and you're just in the middle of it. You have exams, and it's also the experience of prom, which, I mean, if she just turned 18, I'm sure the prom and all that stuff is weird anyways because of COVID.
Probably went with a robot.
But, you want to experience that with your family. And if your parents are in the middle of a divorce, your graduation's going to be weird. All of those events are going to be weird. I think I think that's a kind thing to do, as long as it's not a toxic marriage. You know, like if it's really bad, then it's better for you to separate.
Yeah, so that goes into the theory. The weird, okay. This is the weirdest thing. You want to believe, not that like they had a perfect marriage or anything like that. I don't see any issue with them if they split them. They have so much money, and this has been discussed by, I'm sure, a ton of people, in the sense that like they have so much fucking money that you could still give her 75%. It's not necessarily just his money, I don't think. I know that we were trying to decide that about like where he was at, but as far as like
he made his first billion, I think,
like right
I heard
before
in '87.
Oh, then yeah, fucking. Yeah.
And he met her the same year he got the billion.
Yeah, perfect. And then, but still, they have done such good with that money. They seem to be on such a same. It really does truly feel like maybe for the first time a truly amicable divorce.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So far, I mean, obviously we have no idea, but nothing. If it looks like it's amicable and it looks like nothing shady happened, but they also have lots of money that they could just cover that up.
Imagine. Do you think, in this sense, I feel like out of the two of them, who do you think is going to have a harder time finding a new spouse?
Probably her.
Do you think so?
Melinda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that her name? I would say her because it's going to be intimidating with somebody it's harder for men to be with successful women than it is for women to be with successful men.
I think, well, okay, so in that sense.
Because, I mean, like, even if they, I mean, I don't know, they're worth.
Well, what is her success? What is she? What I don't know.
Well, she would have tons of resources. Like, she's Bill Gates. She's been Bill Gates' wife for a very long time. You know.
Let's see.
She's got connections. She's wealthy. I'm sure she runs organizations.
Okay, so Melinda Gates, born. Okay, so Melinda French Gates, an American philanthropist and former general manager of Microsoft. Okay, so she worked for the family company as the most powerful women. Consistently. In 2000, she and her husband Bill Gates co-founded the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the world's largest.
And they're planning on working that together.
Yeah, there should
like
be
they're
no reason.
still going to continue to work together.
Yeah, because
that's why it's amicable, because they can still.
Also, her jobs are through their their shared thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's
not
like their business, you know. Like, and I'm obviously she's got to be educated to be able to, you know, like she's just because she's his wife, she wouldn't be able to have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he could just give her whatever title and say, hey, you're running this part of the company. But in order for it to be successful, she's got to be good at it. So that's her. Like, that's her doing it.
Yeah. So, okay. So this is interesting. All right. So Gates's first job was tutoring children in mathematics and computer programming. After graduation, she became a marketing manager with Microsoft, being responsible for the development of multimedia products. These included
And what year is that?
So and this is not. I don't mean this to sound. I don't give a fuck what it sounds like, but I'm just letting my preface be known. I'm not saying this to sound like a chauvinist. Her job is with his company. Do you know what I mean? Like her most of her career. I wonder if I wonder how this is not a conflict of interest that they started dating, and then because this goes on to which became one of the most popular. Okay, so
yeah, but when is that?
Well, this was after graduation. She became the multimedia products included Cinemania, Encarta, publisher Microsoft, Bob, Money, Works, Macintosh, and Word. She worked on, so she helped with all of those things, all of those,
right.
all of those.
But
products.
she started at the beginning,
right, with Microsoft. So when they started dating, and then or when they got together. So
They got together in
popular.
87.
Gates was appointed general manager, information products, in the position which she held until 1996. She left Microsoft that year, reportedly to focus on starting a family. Gates served as a member of Duke University's Board of Trustees from 1996 to 2003. She attends an annual... Bilderberg meeting. Bilderberg Group. I've heard weird things about them. None of which I understand. Dating Midas. Okay, so she started dating him in 1987. Yeah. Meeting him after a trade fair in New York. Married. So that's what I'm saying is like she, with her doing that, and then she became the fucking manager of 2003 Board of Directors of Washington Post, 2003. Since 2000, Gates has been active in public eye, stating... So when she was working there, I guess that's the thing, is like she was working for the company and he was like the boss of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a conflict of interest?
No, I mean, if you're... It can be, like... But that high up, I don't think so. Like, it's more of like, this is somebody I trust.
Yeah, I guess... But that's... so
because think about it, like, with...
I had no idea about any of her. I knew that she was a philanthropist, even though I can't say it. And I knew that they had the company together. I didn't know... Or that they worked together.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know what her accomplishments were. Because you say successful lady...
Yeah.
I want to make sure, what is she...
She was managing at the peak of Microsoft.
Right.
So you can't just fake your way through that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's
all of
actually...
success. Yeah,
right. Like, she's a part of that success. And it would be intimidating to be married, to start dating Bill Gates' ex-wife. Like, what are her expectations?
Yeah.
Like, Bill Gates, like, they're like, she's like, you know what? I want Italian food. Like, let's go to Italy. I don't know if that's actually what happens, but
that's what we see in the
that
movie.
could be somebody that's, men are intimidated by successful women. It just, it's not the typical gender role.
I just love the dynamic. That's why, again, if I may, and just a big shout out to Meryl Streep. You can suck it. That's why I love martial arts, because look how supportive husbands are in that field. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many husbands are?
I wouldn't say all husbands, but there are husbands.
A lot of them
there.
though. Like, look at Thug Rose. All of the let's say champions, and not saying not even just husbands.
But see,
not just
for
husbands.
A champion,
successful
you need,
women.
No, but that's how you become a champion. Is
support,
right. And so the when there isn't support, there usually it's really hard because you're doing it on your own. But of course, if you have somebody in your corner, you're going to be way more successful than somebody that doesn't, because you need that extra. When you're feeling like, I'm going to quit, I can't do this, that's your person to be like, no, you got this, because everyone goes through that.
Which one? Okay, so as a lady, this is funny. Let's play a game. All right, so we're gonna do 2 each. All right.
Okay.
So let's say we're not together.
Okay.
Right. You start dating a guy. Basically, what do you think is going to be more intimidating? Which one do you think will be more intimidated if couples broke up? The person, if you had to date what used to be a MMA fighter, male, and that was their relationship, and he was in a relationship with an MMA girl.
Okay.
Like, he cornered her or whatever. Or do you think you would be more intimidated to date Bill Gates? So get this,
based
right?
off their profession.
So I'll just give you one example, right? Pat Barry and his fiance, Thug Rose Namajunas, right? He corners her.
Yeah.
He doesn't fight anymore. She fights now, and he's like one of her main corner guys, right? Training partner, all this stuff, coach, whatever. So, would you, if they broke up and then you started dating him, or do you think it would be more intimidating if Bill and Melinda Gates broke up and then you started dating Bill Gates?
It's so different. I could be intimidated by both of them.
Yep.
I don't know.
But let's just say.
I don't like. I don't know.
Like, okay, so if I was, let's just say I'll go first. Let me go first.
Okay.
They're both intimidating. You're right. No. No, I would say out of those two, I'm asking you which one, like, if you had to choose,
Yeah.
would you choose to be intimidated by the guy with what makes it so intimidating with Bill Gates? What makes it so intimidating with the fighter person? Compare and contrast. And go. Do you think?
I don't know. You go with what you're gonna say.
So let's just say it's the fighter. If I'm to the expectations of like, that I don't have money when you start dating me.
Okay.
If you were dating Bill Gates and now you're here, you're the alpha now. So it actually takes the money scenario in like what you were in your old relationship. You were dealing with Bill Gates's money as well as your money. Like, it was 1-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you've moved to this relationship. Now you're dating Pat. Now you, since your Bill Gates divorce, have this much money, and Pat has this much money. Down here, I'm not even on the screen. So my expectations with that are, like, you're in charge. You're the boss. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the fighter, she would be coming in and she would still totally be the boss because she could kick the shit out of me. But I know that I can at least give her a little bit of what she needs in that aspect. I understand that a little bit more. I understand violence a little bit more than I do, like, being extremely like millions of dollars over, billions of dollars over successful. Yeah. Like, I can't even comprehend what that is, so I won't even try.
Yeah.
Like, it would almost get to the point of, like, a nihilistic freedom of, like, it, like, there's no way I can even, like, I think I would have a harder time comparing myself to the old relationship with the fighter as opposed to with the money lady. Because the money lady, I've never even experienced. I have no idea, no knowledge of that kind of whatever. If it's the fighting thing,
but I know what it likes to. But I think that's the point of, like, you would be like, oh, you got the money, so you're the boss. Where it's like, I want somebody that is on the same level as me. That's not gonna be like, I'll do whatever you say. Like, women want to be, swept on their feet, whether or not you have money. That doesn't, like, I want you to.
Well, it's not just the money. That's why I tried to specify. It's not just, like, having the money. It's like the level of success and notoriety. Like, I can't imagine what that feels like for a fighter, like, to know what that feels like, but it's not up to me to know what that feels like. Like, he's the coach. Nobody's really ever, like, people pay attention to him, but they go like, oh, I like Pat. But anyway, let's talk about Thug. I'm not in the spotlight. Whereas in the other one, like, she's gonna be more in the spotlight. That's what I'm saying. It's like the dynamic of that has changed. Of, like,
but even with fighting and him being in her corner and being her coach, he's a part of her success. Yeah.
But, like, it's about her.
It is about her, but
it's a way clearer. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is that this is the dynamic I'm talking about? Is you have the same idea. Let's say if, like, one person, if the fighter and their coach break up, like, you have kind of, it's pushing it, saying, like, you're number one, you're the best, you're, like, I'm here for your success, which is our success,
right?
But it's very, very much obvious of saying, it's not about me, it's about you fucking ruling. Let's rule this shit. Like, I'm gonna help you.
That's how our dynamic is.
That's what I'm saying. But in the sense of, like, in the successful world, like, we always preface it by saying, well, it's their money and it's their foundation and they did all this stuff. There's no clear, like, definitive person that you're saying, I'm here to, it's about.
But that's how it should be. It should be a partnership. It should be equal. Just because you're doing two different things,
right,
it's still a partnership. Like, we don't have separate bank accounts.
No.
Like,
some couples do.
Yeah. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong. But I'm just saying, like, with us, my financial success is our success. Right. I'm the one that's doing the physical work, but at the same time, that's not, I mean, I'm doing the physical work, but you sacrifice things for me to be able to do my job. So you have to deal with my anxieties, my stresses. When I work too much, like it can impede on what's happening to you. So it's again, it's having somebody in your corner to say,
literally,
like you have to, and it's vice versa. I do the same thing for you. When it comes to comedy and like whatnot, I'm there helping you. I give you my thoughts on, well, you ask me. I don't just say things, but I don't know. Like it just I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like there are true partnerships, and then there are oftentimes there are because like if you really think about it, a true partnership has just all it is just defined roles.
Yeah,
it really, that's all it is.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I'm okay doing this work because it's gonna support the greater good. Like, but that's the thing is you both have to be on the same page to say, what do we want?
What do we understand what our roles are? Because our roles are...
Yeah, this is what we're going to do to get to that.
Right.
I need you to do this. I will do this, or you need me to do this.
Right. There's another
fighter. And then
fighter.
We'll reach our goal.
There's another fighter that has a coach that ended up fucking him over completely.
Mm-hmm.
Diego Sanchez, who is somebody that has been fighting, I think as long as fighting in the UFC, as long as I've been watching the UFC. So he started, I think, before that, obviously. But like back in 2005, he was like on one of the reality shows, anything like that. And I've been watching him the whole time I've been watching MMA.
Mm-hmm.
And as of his past couple fights, he's had this weird like guru type coach guy, only one guy in his corner, and that was pre-COVID. That was before they only were allowed to have like a couple people in their corner, and like weird training methods, and he's not getting a lot of success from it.
Yeah.
So, but he's somebody who is trying to make himself the center of attention, and that's the defined role that is needed to be understood in the fighting world for sure. Is that when people start heaping praise on the coach of this champion or that champion, if they're worth
Look
their
at
salt,
Tom Brady.
they're like,
everyone
he's
gave
great.
Belichick all this praise, and I think that was part of one of the things that he wanted to be like, hey, I'm good at my job.
Right.
Yes, Belichick helped, but I can still be me without him.
For as bad as he made him look, what's his face?
Belichick?
You just said it. Yeah, Belichick. I couldn't remember his fucking name. Surprising. But you couldn't, as bad as he made Belichick look, he also made the Bucs coach look that bad. Because he's like, I don't fucking need any fucking coach.
But
it's
he
fucking
told
me.
No, he was able. So like Belichick, I think was just like the hard ass like, this is the job, just get it done.
Yeah.
Whereas he said he learned so much like the mental game is what he got from the Bucs coach.
Yeah.
So like he's like, hey, I know how this game works. But he added another level, and because of the coaching skills of the mental aspect of it, I think that's why they were able to win a Super Bowl together their first time, because he was like, okay, I'm going to take this like welcoming, nurturing environment, and we can become a team a lot quicker that way, where we trust each other and we're like, hey, let's do this together. It's not just about Brady. Let's do this as a cohesive team. So I think that type of coaching got them to where they're at. But Tom Brady obviously is the center of it, because he showed up in 1 year and they're there. But that's his coaching. Like I'm the captain and I'm gonna help lead this team. I'm the quarterback. Like the quarterback's the one that kind of. The leader, the captain.
And that's the defined role, is the thing of like, that's somebody who can take all the eyes on them, that can
and that's everyone taking the emotions out of it, of like, or the ego out of like, hey, let's just do this, let's listen to this person, let's see what happens.
I think that's the thing of that it doesn't have to always just be, it's not always like this is how to manage well. This is how to do, like we've talked about that plenty of times in the past with like stuff that works, like sometimes you can translate stuff that works managing people at a job or something like that.
Because it's about building relationships.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's romantic, familial,
Oh.
professional. Like, it's all about building relationships, building that trust so that you're able to, you know, be yourself and you learn from each other. But you have to be open-minded, and you have to take your ego out of every relationship. Parenting, like your kids, the relationships you have with your children, which I guess is still familial, like the family.
Yeah, but yeah, still. So this is a funny thing. Did you know there was a gas shortage?
Yes, I just saw that today.
Me too.
There was, but it has to do with technology.
What does that mean? Like the technology of like the pumps.
I think like somebody. We'll play this, and I'll look for the article that I just saw.
All right, so there is a video I saw earlier. It's just entitled "People Getting Crazy with the Gas Shortage in North Carolina." So that was a lot of news in there for me to take. But here is obviously some long line in North Carolina gas station. Looks like maybe a marathon. That's what it is.
Yep.
And this is some guy filming just regular cell phone style. Didn't go landscape mode for this one, but, you know.
This nigga's wild.
I don't appreciate the language, but,
it's a little
yeah,
rough.
see, she obviously tried to merge.
Your buddy in the Honda tried to cut. Like, the fuck is you doing, bro?
It turns out it's not a bruh. It's a lady. And she spits on the guy.
Yo, she spit on this nigga.
I don't appreciate the language, but
Corona.
look at this. Watch. Bam.
Oh, shit.
Hey, that's what you get.
Hey, if anybody's wondering, I would do that too.
He's
You
not
just-
hitting her.
He's not hitting her. He's just holding her.
Yeah. She's hitting him.
Yeah. This is over gas. Well, this is not over gas. This is obviously over both of their lives
Yeah.
right now.
But he kicked her shit into the street.
Yep. This is a classic overreaction.
Okay, so
Classic overreaction.
state of emergency as cyber attack shuts off fuel supplies to service stations and airlines.
So it's a cyber. So it was a cyber.
Yeah, the governors of Florida, Virginia, and Georgia all declared states of emergency Tuesday in a bid to protect fuel supplies, with some gas pumps already dry in Atlanta and other cities as the impact from Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack continues to riddle across the country, hitting the Southeast especially hard.
Oh, do you think that's what happened to the feed earlier?
Maybe.
Oh.
Panic buyers streamed into gas stations across the Southeast as the key pipeline that supplies the area was threatened by the attack. More than 1,000 gas stations in the Southeast are now running out of fuel, according to S&P's oil price information.
You dumb motherfucker!
It's getting real close to PA.
Uh-oh. But
And what
So
about my
these are-
cataracts?
I don't know the color key. I don't have the color key in front of me, but state of emergency is Florida, Georgia, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina.
okay. Well,
The Southeast is particularly vulnerable because it has fewer refineries and pipelines to deliver fuel compared to
Bullshit.
the Northeast, which is less at risk.
what was the Gulf Pipeline? That's the Southeast right there. What's that? You were pumping nothing but gasoline in the goddamn
Yeah,
oceans.
and they had to shut it down because that's what it was doing. It's
Well,
not there anymore.
Not our
They're
fault.
not using it.
Fix the cyber attack.
The Southeast is also less equipped to quickly import large quantities of gas line from other countries, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Ugh.
The worst shortages were in North Carolina, where 9.7% of all stations in the state were without fuel, according to Gas Buddy Tracker. Virginia was second hardest hit with 7.9 as the gas stations empty, followed by Georgia at 6.5 and South Carolina at 4.3.
And this is because this is
Somebody threatened an attack on the company. Hold on, what's the company's name?
Marathon? What are you talking about? The gas, the oil company?
Yes. So, running according to S&P. Hold on.
But That's what I'm saying is like it.
Where'd it go?
What?
Colonial Pipe. Okay, so it's the Colonial Pipeline is what gives the Southeast. Like that's where their main source
Oh.
of gas comes from, and there was a ransomware attack continues to ripple across the country, hitting the Southeast pretty hard. So there's a ransom attack on this specific pipeline, so they must have shut everything down. So it was a cyber attack. So whatever happened, like they can't, I'm sure there's a lot of technology that goes into that for, seeing how full your tanks are. Like, obviously, like all of that stuff's produced by technology, and they've shut it down.
So yeah, so basically, it's people are freaking out. I saw a bunch of people like just gathering up a ton of like gas.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. That like it's.
But again, like this is bad. You can't do that. Like it's the toilet paper thing. Like just take what you need. You can't hoard it.
But it's hard.
And this is actually happening at work too. They're like sending out messages that says, "Do not over order."
Right.
Because you're messing the whole supply chain up. But that's what, like, everyone's instinct is like, oh, this is not going to be here anymore. Let me get it all for myself. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah. Overall,
what are you going to do with all of that?
Overall, like, that's the thing is, to me, this is, and this might be just the stupid, peaceful nihilist in me, but like, if there's no gas, there's no gas. If I don't have gas to get to work,
that's
then
not your
I will
fault.
tell my work that I don't have gas to get there. I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
like,
the companies that you work for that you need to, like, this is the world we live in now that I think people just need to, like,
a lot of shit's out of our control.
Pandemic is not done. Like, there are going to be ripple effects to all of this stuff. So supply chains are really suffering right now. At work, every week we're out of something.
Yeah, and stop clicking on porn links, pipeline fucking whatever your name is. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand how. And that's the thing that just use Apple, dude. Apple. This very rarely is there trouble. Again, now this is if you want to stream a podcast, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble. But if you want to protect all of your shit, just get the thing. Like
I don't know.
I don't get why or how, like a professional company that deals with something like that.
Nobody's unstoppable.
We're finding out that finding that out now. Like
exactly.
that nobody look.
Yeah.
Nobody is better planned for anything else than anyone. Like there's no, there is only those things for like, it feels like you only see them in movies. Like like we're watching that, This Is a Robbery. We started that documentary thing. And you're just like, like you have alarms. Cool. But like that's dependent on a human being still. Like, don't you have something that can like lock it up? That can be locked up. But again,
that's technology, and technology can falter too.
But yeah, ultimately, I guess no matter what, there's always going to be a fail. There's
always risk.
Nothing is. I was very dismayed. This might have been my first trauma that I ever experienced, was when I discovered that permanent markers weren't actually permanent.
What?
When you write on something with a permanent marker, and then you can just like almost immediately, not immediately, if you let it even dry. If you get some alcohol in something, you can pretty much get it off there.
Yeah, but not on all surfaces. It's on specific surfaces.
But it's like, to me, that was very early on, at a very young age, my pedantic ways.
There's always
were in tune perfectly.
An exception to the rule.
Always
an exception.
Always
to the rule.
An exception to the rule.
Yes.
So whether it be divorce, whether it be gas hoarding. Or any of that. There is a shortage, yes. But if you weren't aware of the shortage...
Well, that's the thing.
You know
is,
what I mean?
Like, if you didn't tell people...
Would there be a shortage?
I mean, they can start to see it, like, gas stations are out of gas, and it's like, why are you out of gas? That's weird. So, I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, like, kind of keep it hush-hush so people don't go fucking... Because now you're way out of gas, so if everyone just took what they needed...
You would just be regular out of gas.
Right. Like, okay, guys, we gotta, everybody work from home. Like, we know that we can do that in these areas. If you can not travel as much as possible for a short period of time, we can get resources from around the country. Like, it's not like it just takes a minute, but if everybody runs out and takes everything, then now it's a state of emergency because there's not enough for everybody, and now you're hoarding. Like, don't fucking do that.
Right. Stop fucking hoarding, stupid. You stupid assholes.
Like, it's all
Think about other people.
Right. But like, we're in this mentality of it's all about me. And it's like the same thing with did you see the I don't know how real it is. I saw it on Daily Mail, but that anti-vaxxers and maskers are now, I guess there's like a thing that they want to now wear masks and social distance from people that actually got vaccinated.
Cool.
That there's like I didn't read the article. I just started laughing because I'm like, that is absolutely hilarious.
That's the same idea. I feel about those people putting in like TikTok drinks at Starbucks with like the million different add-ons.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to pay for that or you want to waste your points or stars or whatever you fucking have, like, yeah, joke's on me. We just. By the way, also the fact that if you do or do not drink these drinks is very crucial. Like, if I can take all of this sugar and just throw it away, as opposed to giving it to somebody, like overall, as a society, we do know that there are right and wrong answers, but people have free will.
Yeah.
I'm still determining that. I'm reading the book.
They do.
No, actually you don't. But there is, you don't have free will.
Okay.
But there is a specific thing where, like, your decision to buy that is already made up before. You don't have free will. Sorry. It's very, so far, again, I'm only a third through. The book. You may have free will at the end of it. But if I can throw this away, if you have the ability to order all this garbage or whatever, and then if you're doing it just to waste my time, I get it. I like a prank. Hey, I like it too. But also, are you really actually going to drink this? Like, this feels wasteful, and also feels like, unless you're like a competitive bodybuilder, you don't need this many calories. Nobody needs that much sugar. Mm-hmm. But now I'm just judging, obviously. It's been great talking to you guys today. This is obviously we had a little bump in the road at the beginning of the stream. What would it be? How would it be GDPLive if we didn't have some kind of issue to deal with early on? But I appreciate you guys joining in. Don't forget, you can call anytime you want. And I'm going to take Ian's suggestion here. He says, just sing the number in a catchy melody. Yeah. So if you'd like.
You use your little finger piano. Make a song with it. Or harmonica or accordion.
I was just going to try it just right now. I was going to say with my voice.
Do it.
But did you say harmonica?
I said harmonica and
accordion.
Accordion.
Yeah. Okay. Just don't forget, you could call anytime you'd like, not just when we're live, but you can call anytime, or you can text 717-559-2971.
Not bad.
We'll get it down.
Yeah.
We'll get a good. We've got a better jingle. Let me try it again. 717-559-2971.
No, the first one was better.
Okay. Well, either way, that's the same number. You can call that number anytime. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the show. If you wanna pound off about something we talked about, pound away, my friends. I love you all. I love you.
I love you. I love you guys too.